And Mehmood, what are the key technologies that you envisage will be driving the future of humanity, the future of the planet?
So it's things that many people talk about already, right? When you talk about artificial intelligence, that's going to drive things, but it's not going to drive things in terms of a computer. It's going to drive your car. It's going to drive your fridge. It's going to drive the way you interact with other people. It's going to drive the way you interact with companies, and together with robotics, I think that's going to play a big role. Blockchain, I think, is going to play a big role when it comes to security and data privacy. Again, blockchain on its own doesn't make a lot of sense, but when you say, well, I can actually create a title deed using blockchain, right? And I can ensure that people who don't have access to land, which is a big issue in our country, and we can secure that through the use of blockchain technology, so that it becomes easier for people to acquire and trade in land. That changes the game significantly, because now I've got collateral, right? So it's the application of these kind of technologies. I think if you have the ability to understand data, analytics, I still believe, plays a big role in the future of technology, because companies need to understand all of the data, whether it is structured or unstructured data, to be able to make decisions. So those three things are going to drive the future of technology. Cloud, in my view, is not a future technology. It exists today. All we need to do is make sure that we revise all of our technology architecture so that they are cloud native, because it is real. And all of the regulations, all of the issues around cloud, we're going to get over them. But we cannot stay up to date if we have a legacy approach. We have to understand that cloud allows us to be a lot more flexible, a lot more quicker, as we deliver new solutions to the problems that we face, whether we're individuals or organizations.
Now, Mehmood, when it comes to social media, how do you suggest future leaders should handle social media? What platforms should they use? What platforms should they focus on? And how should they make sure that they grow their personal brand and their leadership rather than diminish it?
I think this is something that we need to actually spend time in educating people on. Everybody uses social media, but we don't exactly know how to do it properly. One of the things around education is we miss this fact. I don't think companies train people enough on how to use social media, and that can result in a lot of problems. I'm not going to talk about which platforms you should or you shouldn't use, because I think there are different requirements for different organizations. You see a lot of SMEs that have a significant presence on Facebook, because it is a very effective way of building your brand without all of the investment required in websites and traditional marketing. So, there's a great opportunity for that. Building personal brands, I think, is a tricky one, because when you use platforms like Twitter, etc., it can backfire on you. I think the thing is, what we need is more of our communication and marketing organizations to actually put strategies around that. So it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. It's something that you would have to do on an individual basis, but it's something that you need to think about. Sit with your marketing team, sit with your communications team, and say, how do I go about this? What are the right tools? When do I do it? I would say the one thing that for me is a little bit disappointing is most people today just retweet stuff. It's not original thought. And that's most of what our marketing and our communications teams want us to do. What we need to do is we need to put our own thoughts out there. As long as it's measured, it makes a lot of sense, and it represents the values of you as a person and as the company. I think that's a lot more effective. People want to hear what you have to say rather than what the latest headline is from the company's PR department. That we need to get away from a little bit. because it adds just too much noise in the system and doesn't actually tell you what you're really on about.